Good afternoon, Year 9. It's Miss Dooner here, and welcome to your ASL Assembly for this week. I hope you're all well. As always, we've got our thinking points for the week before we get into our assembly, and I want you to reflect on these. Feel free to pause the video if you want. How have you epitomised our motto this week? So our motto is work hard and be kind. I've seen loads of you working super hard and loads of you being really kind to yourselves and to each other online. It's really lovely to see you interacting on your teams, saying how are you to each other and your teachers. So how have you epitomised that? How are you finding virtual school? Is it something that you've taken to quite well? Are you finding aspects quite difficult about it? Have a think and reflect, and it might be that you want to drop me an email if there's something that you're finding hard, or maybe you've already fed back on the questionnaire that's been posted by Miss Huntington. And finally, what are you missing about being at school? I'm seeing more and more of you now on your team saying, God, I just wish I was back at school and I'm really missing everybody. Like this post if you'd rather be at school right now. And it's funny, isn't it, that we are getting to that point, a lot of us, that we just want that normality back. So what are you missing about being at school? Even if you like loving being at home and off school, I bet there's things that you do miss, whether it's chicken burgers on a Friday, or whether it's seeing your friends, or whether it's your lessons. So reflect on those for me, and I'd love to hear any of your thoughts. Okay, before we celebrate and discuss some fab achievements of this week, I just want to highlight something I've noticed across virtual school, but definitely in Year 9, and I'm going to call them ghosters. Now, I need you to think, are you a ghoster? Now, this is what I have seen on Teams, and this is the kind of student I would call a ghoster. These ghosters view assignments, so they go on to their lesson, whether it's math, science, whether it's their option subjects, food, cooking, whatever, and they view the assignment. So the teachers sees that they're there, they're like, brilliant, they're on the work, they can see it. They might even type the word here or say, so I'm here, on the comments on the chat. They might also like some of the teachers' posts or their friends' posts, so it looks like they're there. And also now we've got our registers, they probably do sign in on that register. So a ghoster will do all or one of those things and then disappear. I don't know where they go, but they go. I don't see them again. And this is happening quite a lot in lessons at the minute. And I can understand why that's happening. So by doing any of those things, you're telling your teacher that you're here. So then your teacher's not on your back or calling home or reporting it to head of year. It's probably meaning that you can get away with doing nothing and then going on your Xbox or whatever you're doing on your computer, or just sleeping. So there are some ghosters out there. If you're watching this now, you probably aren't one, but you might know one. So here's some advice. Don't be a ghoster. It's tempting, I know, it's really tempting, but I really urge you not to be one of these students, okay? What I expect and what we expect at Aldersley during this lockdown is for you to really try and engage with your teacher and your classmates in the chat. It is impossible to create a classroom on a laptop or on an iPad or your phone, isn't it? It's completely different to school. But if you can go on the chat box for each of your classes, it is the nearest thing that you can get to discussing your ideas, isn't it? So think about it, like say obviously I teach English, so in an English lesson often I say to my class, right, here's a question. So it might be, is Lord Capulet a good father? And I say, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, discuss it with the person next to you. You can't do that on your own. You can't do that sat in your room, or if you're with your brother or sister trying to homeschool them too. It's impossible. So try, if you can, to replicate that by going on your chat box with your teacher in the post section and discussing ideas with her. Some of you do this really well. I see some of you discuss your ideas brilliantly. Some of you I know are a little bit shy. So maybe you could challenge yourself to do that. But also, we are able, if you'd like to, and you're a bit shy, you can have a channel with just you and your teacher in, if you want. So you could drop your teacher an email and say, Miss, I don't like posting my ideas in front of all of the class. Would it be possible for me to have my own channel where I could maybe ask you questions? So if that's something that you'd like to know more about, email me or email your teacher for that subject, and we can definitely do that. There's loads of you doing that already. The other thing I would say is make sure you submit work as well. And this is to hold yourself to account, because you're in year 9, and whenever we go back to school, obviously we want to hit the ground running, and you've got your GCSEs coming up, not next year, the year after, and I imagine that they will go ahead as completely normal, won't they? So what we've got to think about is that you need to stay topped up. So it might be that you're doing work and you're just forgetting to hand it in, I don't know, but I do worry that some people are not doing anything, and they're just going on, clicking here, clicking the register, and then doing their own thing for the day. But if you're one of the students that's not doing that and you're submitting work to your teacher, that is brilliant, because this will mean you maintain all of your knowledge and your progress. It will also mean that your teachers, people like me, can see your ideas. We can see what you understand and what you don't understand, and we can plan all your lessons then. Because teachers don't just plan lessons just in a blanket for 12 weeks and know this is exactly what they're going to learn all the time. Obviously we have an idea, but if we can see that you don't understand something, so maybe if it's, I don't know, in science and you're really struggling with the topic of cells, and your teacher can see you're not really understanding the difference between a plant cell and an animal cell, they will cancel their lessons and make sure that they plan something that completely addresses that misunderstanding. So I'm sure you can see, if you're not submitting work, we don't know what you do know and what you don't know. So we might be planning lessons that are an absolute waste of time. But those of you that do submit work, obviously we're going to be planning our lessons for you, so you're going to be getting the most out of it. So don't be a ghoster. If you know one, I would drop them a text now, screenshot this image, take a picture of this on YouTube and send it to them and say, don't be a ghoster, this is why. If you aren't a ghoster and you do all these things, then you're doing everything you can, and you should be really proud of yourself. And when we get back to school, you'll slot right back in. So a big well done. Okay, just a few lesson superstars then. So those of you that are submitting work and doing brilliant things, we've got quite a few this week. So Mr. Edwards is really proud of his DT group. He always sings your praises, but Chase's work really blew it out of the water, so big well done to Chase. Also, Mr. Betch's tweet was really cute. So if you're in 9W2, you really made her day this week. So obviously we're all suffering technical glitches. I know loads of you have had power cuts this week and teams going down, but we're all getting through it together. We're challenging ourselves and we're being resilient. So thank you to 9WT. You've really cheered Miss up. Obviously we have our certificates given out as well by Mrs. Vernon and Mr. Richardson, and these students have impressed with their points across their lessons, so big well done to Ellie, Jovan, Christy and Hallie J. We keep handing these out every day, so keep your eye out, and your name will probably be mentioned if you receive a lot of reward points. Remember to keep asking your teachers if they're adding them on. We are awarding them for the free school values every lesson, so lots of you are receiving those. What I'm really happy about though is this week we've got a lot more Enrichment Superstars. Now obviously by enrichment I mean things outside of your lesson, so not just, you know, your maths and business or whatever. It's things that are outside. So these students have been doing different things to enrich themselves, and I really love some of them. So Katie B has been walking as part of her house challenge. Her destination is India, as her head of house is Miss Nuttall and she's in Emerald House. So she went on a walk down the local canal and she's added a really big total there of 6.67 kilometres to the total. So whichever house you're in, make sure you're getting involved. Lots of miles being clocked up. Also, Miss Williams, the English teacher, has been tweeting at the top there about her creative writing enrichment group. A big well done to Ravjot and Dania this week. I know there's loads of you that get involved with some beautiful creative writing, so well done. Kira has been doing some gymnastics, I think you'd call it, on her TikTok, and she shared this to me on Twitter, and it's really nice to see you keeping active, and you're so skilled and talented. I don't know how you do that, Kira, but that's amazing. Keep it up. And finally, my favourite tweet of the week for enrichment definitely goes to Holly. And Holly has done something that I cannot recommend enough. And she did a friendship Zoom call. So Zoom is obviously like a platform you can use on your phone, laptop or tablet, which is just a video call software. And when you're missing people, and especially your school friends, and you can't see them, sometimes WhatsApp and Snapchat and things aren't enough. You need to see them, and Zoom is a really good way to do that. It's free. So if you're missing people, maybe suggest doing a Zoom call. I have to do this every week with my friends, else I would feel really sad and I'd miss them so much. So that was so lovely to see. So well done, girls. And I don't get the cardboard cutout people, but that looks really funny. Okay, now it's time for our students of the week then, and these are students that have been impressing us across the week. They may have received certificates, they may not have, they may have gone under the radar. So the first student has not received a certificate this week, but Miss Brown would like to recognise them for their brilliant work. They submit to their teachers, they're not a ghoster, and they get involved in discussion. So if you see like the Aldersley staff and students page, they'll always be on there reacting to posts, contributing their ideas. Even on their class pages as well, they're always getting involved, and they have started submitting some brilliant work. So a big well done to Panache. Well done, Panache. And for our ASL Student of the Week, this week is going to a student that has been mentioned today already. They have been up in their game with the work they submit, and I'm really, really proud of how well they're doing on virtual school. And my award goes to Chase. So well done, Panache, and well done, Chase, for the awards this week. So points then, as a whole, this is where we stood as of Monday this week. So things might change next Monday. Let's see, over the weekend. But a big well done to Christy, Jake, Caitlin, Ellie, Maya, Josh, Jay, Josh W, Chase, Holly and Ravjot. You are the top of the leaderboard as of Monday of this week. Let's see if we can get some different names. But I am pleased to say we've got a different form on top now. Mr Ladd's form have been reigning for a long time, but now Miss Foster's form have taken the lead. So big well done. If you're in 9D, you are the best form in year 9 by quite a way this week. So keep it up. And if you're in a different form, let's see if we can get you up on the leaderboard next week. Before I go, I just want to remind you about the Year 9 Aldersley Students Teams page. Now this page has gone off this week. I'm sure you've seen there's so much on there now, and we love to see you getting involved. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go onto your team's home, you are in the group that looks exactly like the screenshot I've popped on here. It says Year 9 Aldersley Students with a picture of a mountain. And this page now is really, really popular with Year 9. Lots of you getting involved on there. And I'll tell you why. We have so much going on. We've got photo competitions now. So the picture of the flower that you can see on the screen here is a photo by me. And I challenged Miss Vernon. I said, Mrs. Vernon, this week, let's have a competition. The theme is nature. Every day we're going to enter a photo onto the Year 9 page, and you guys, the students, have to vote for the best photo out of the two. Now obviously, because I'm such an amazing photographer, I have completely obliterated Mrs. Vernon and I have won every day. Sorry Mrs. Vernon. So I thought, to make it fair, let's open it up to you guys. So from today, I'm recording this on Thursday, the 14th of May, you will see at break time, there will be a photo competition for the students. So far, there's going to be 4 of you entered, and when this goes live on Friday, there might be some more. What I want to see is your photos being submitted to me via email with that week's theme, and you guys can vote for which photo you believe is the best. This will be totally anonymous. I'll reveal the winner at the end of the day. Next week's theme will be revealed on Microsoft Teams today, later on, so you'll see that, and if you want to enter, you absolutely can. We've also got film quizzes going on. So Mrs. Vernon has refined her Photoshop skills, and she each day superimposes a picture of a teacher at Aldersley onto a famous film character. You have to guess the film that has come from, and the highlight of the week has been Mr. Richardson as Hugh Grant. If you haven't watched Love Actually, just search Hugh Grant dance Love Actually and you'll imagine Mr. Richardson doing this now. It's amazing. We also reveal the top points every day, so not just for the week, the build-up, it's literally on a daily basis who's got the most points, and that's how we award certificates, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We've also started to give more prizes out for interacting, so you'll notice Mrs. Vernon, I notice every time she posts something, she'll say, if this gets so many likes, you win a treat, or the first person to like this gets a chocolate bar, and she's got them at home and she's keeping a tab on them. We've also got queue jump passes, early lunches for when you get back, so it's really important if you're on the page or you're interacting. If you're not, get on there because you might be missing out on some fun treats. So here's a few things to keep your eyes peeled on over the next few weeks. So that comes to the end of our assembly for this week. Thank you for listening. A few final thinking points then, just to leave you with before you go. Obviously, to avoid ghosting, which lessons could you get more involved in? Is there any you could submit some work in a little bit more, or maybe chat to your teacher on? Remember, if you're a bit shy, drop me an email, drop your teacher an email, and we can sort out a little channel for you to speak to your teacher on your own. Could you get involved in our Year 19 page a little bit more? Could you like posts? Could you submit photos for the photo competition? And how will you epitomise our motto before half term? Because a week today, we break up for half term again. So how are you going to epitomise work hard and be kind? Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you on the Teams page.